So I'm on vacation in Florida right now, and I live in Vermont. And back home in Vermont, I have this giant workshop. It used to be an airplane hangar. It's a Quonset hut, they call it. I've never been big on the term. But anyway, a couple weeks ago, one of my... Oh, let me get a picture of it first. I refer to it as the banana building. Wait, this is totally the wrong banana. Okay, there's the banana building. Look, there's my mom, and there's me, and there's my big workshop. And this goes like way back, and attaches to a cliff way back there at the back. Anyway, I got a text message from my friend who's keeping an eye on my place while I'm away. And he's like, dude, the banana building collapsed. So I mentioned this in one of my videos. I'm like, oh man, my banana building at home collapsed. Ah, that sucks. And then the I told you so's come rolling in. Now, anytime you start a sentence with, not to be a dick, but, you might want to scrutinize what you're going to say next. You know, give it extra scrutinizing and extra double checking that you're not actually being a dick. Because it appears that almost always when someone starts a sentence with, not to be a dick, or not to be a schmuck, or whatever, then they continue, I mean, somehow they think that's an excuse to just do it a lot. So, not to be a dick, but here I'm going to be a super dick. Anyway, I got a lot of I told you so's about how I didn't put the rear wall on the building. Because, see here, I've got the building. Here's the front. It's got this nice wall here, right? And then it goes way back, and at the back, I attach it to a cliff face. Now, apparently, people presumed that because there was no wall in the back, that nothing was holding it up back there. Even though I went to extreme lengths to cut a groove into the cliff face and fit the building into there. And, you know, all these I told you so's are coming with no information. All I said was the thing collapsed and I haven't seen it yet. I don't have a picture or anything. So, finally, a couple days ago, one of my other friends, who's like all into building and stuff and like understands structure and whatever, he's like, hey, I'm going up hiking by your place. And I was like, oh yeah, my banana building collapsed. You want to take some pictures of it and, you know, let me know what you think? And he's like, oh, wow, really? Okay. So here's what we get. Oh, look at this. It's all collapsed. But wait, what's this at the back? Oh, it's still totally up. So I guess I told you so. You should have put the back wall on. Doesn't apply at all. So now, not only do they feel like dicks, but they're also totally wrong. Now, first of all, it's not cool to, like, I told you so someone after they just had something, like, break. That's just annoying. Anyway. So, yeah, the whole back part here is still totally up because, you know, the mountain cliff face miraculously didn't collapse. Anyway, this is all smushed. And we've got some other wonderful pictures of the inside. Oh, here's my giant robot. That's what I was really worried about. Oh look, it seems to be holding up part of the building. I'm pretty sure it's just holding up styrofoam. But still, yeah, giant robot holding up part of the building. Oh, and there it is again. Oh, we lost some styrofoam insulation. Oh yeah. But, you know, giant robot still looks good. Everything's all straight and not bent or broken or anything, so that's a good sign. I don't know what that picture is. But anyway, this brings me to another point, which is something people keep bringing up, which is insurance. Now, I'm not real big on insurance for something like this, because the banana building, and even the giant robot, and all this stuff, it's just stuff. It can come and go, and it's not that important. And you don't really get that if nothing ever goes wrong. So the real value of the banana building is the value that I personally got, like the strength and the you know, the stuff I learned building it and all that sense of responsibility. But if you always have insurance, you don't really get the sense of responsibility. You don't get your internal strength from things. It's because you're just like, oh, I don't really have to do a good job on anything. I'll just buy insurance and, you know, if anything happens, they'll just take care of it, and I won't have to, like, actually, you know, be responsible for anything in my life because I'll just pay some money and someone will fix it. So anyway, having a disaster like that and having it happen and not having, like, insurance or anything you know, it makes you realize that these things are just things. They're not important. There's much more important things than the things. Even if it's a really big thing, like a 1,200 square foot 2-story workshop, which is really cool, but I mean, it's just a thing. Oh, and the actual reason it collapsed was because there was a huge snowstorm and all the snow piled up on top of it. Wait, I think I have a picture of... Oh, look, there's snow on top of it. There was a lot more snow before, but see, it just buckled right in the middle. But it was one of those really wet snow, heavy snowstorms with no wind, so none of the snow blew off the building. It just kept piling right up on top in the middle. And my friend was telling me that 100-year-old barns have been collapsing and stuff up there. So, you know, it was just too much for the building. Now, this was a building that I didn't design. I got it from somewhere else. And I was kind of worried about my other buildings, like the dome, my house, and the other dome, the spring house. Because, like, if those broke, like, I can't just go home and, like, live again, right? What am I going to do? No. I asked them to go check those out, thinking, boy, I used dome shapes. I hope they're all they're cracked up to be, knowing very well that they are. And let's see. He didn't send me a picture of the dome. This is stock footage of the dome. All he said about the dome was, there wasn't a scratch on it. This is why I love domes. See, inside here, you can see these little steel pipes. That's a steel dome frame, and it goes right over, and all this weight rests on that steel frame. And it can take a buttload of weight, or like a lot of snow. And then, okay, I've got this concrete dome that's, you know, kind of a littler dome. It's like 20 feet across. And that's over the spring. That's where we get water. That's kind of important, too. I didn't get a picture of that either, because it just said, not a scratch on that either. Then here's a stock photo, since none got sent. See? Domey shaped. Totally indestructible. Actually, a huge tree fell on that once. And it didn't even crack or anything. Anyway, I'm very happy with my domes. I'm going to have to go fix my building. Stop I told you soing. It just makes you sound silly. And kind of stupid. Sorry. Now on the topic of disasters. Japan is having a bit of trouble with all their tsunamis and earthquakes and stuff. It's getting pretty rough over there. And I overheard a conversation recently where some white male Americans were discussing how those Japanese got what they deserved. Yeah, I felt like throwing up a little bit. Because, you know, that's a really good attitude for having a peaceful world where our children cannot hate each other. Thanks a lot for that. And, by the way, of all the people who should maybe not bring up all the shiesty things done in the past, maybe white male Americans might kind of be up there. You know, we are, after all, kind of the only ones who've dropped nuclear bombs on people. And remember that whole incident where we stuffed a bunch of people in boats, took them across the ocean without asking them, and you know, half of them died along the way. Yeah, that was pretty bad. That really wasn't very long ago, and we can get into all kinds of human rights things that weren't that long ago. So maybe we can just forget about things that happened like 70 years ago and try to not hate everyone, not hate other people just because they live in another country and have nothing to do with what people 70 years ago did. You know, maybe we could try that. Besides, you know, white males, I'm pretty sure you won on killing people. Good job.